25 pro handicappers, $25,000 on the line. This is the Circa Friday Football Invitational on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Here is your host, Matt Humans.
All right, you know him, you love him. Professional sports bettor Scott Pritchard in studio tonight. And Scott, great to see you in here. This is 2 weeks to go in the Circa Friday Football Invitational. In the second year in a row, you are in the Elite Eight, so congratulations.
Well, I have to tell you, Doug Kezirian reached out to me today and reminded me that he was an eyelash away from catching me. Mm-hmm. And he says, if the Falcons, had there been a touchdown scored in the last 10 minutes and 34 seconds, he would have caught me. And I simply said, if my aunt had a beard, scared you for a minute. If my aunt had a beard, she'd be my uncle.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be something to start with a B. You went with the beard. Nice job there. Variation of that joke. Scott Pritchard, Las Vegas Pro Bettor. You see the standings here. Chuck Edel, the Iceman, another Las Vegas Pro on top at 69, 40, and 3, 75.5 points. He's got a 7-point lead on Alex White, who's going to be in studio here in about a half hour. Weston Stratman, last year's average Joe in third, 65. Chris Massero from San Diego, Chris the Bear Felica from Fox Sports right there in fourth and fifth, respectively. Tied for sixth, Scott Pritchard and Pete Wilder, this year's average Joe. Pete just appeared on the show. They wrap up hour number one. And Paul Bovey, another Las Vegas Pro Bettor, who's hanging out in Mexico or Canada right now. He's 55, 52, and 5, 63 points, and just barely made the cut ahead of the three that did get cut last week. Doug Kezirian, Chris Piper, and James Salinas. So we started with the field of 25. We're now in the Elite Eight. Scott Pritchard, you're part of it, and Chuck Edel is setting the pace. Let's take a look at Chuck Edel's plays for this week, Scott, and tell me if you got any common plays with the Iceman. His best bet is in the Alamo Bowl on Saturday night. He's playing BYU plus 3.5 against Colorado. He's also playing BYU, Colorado under the total of 55. So he's got two plays there, the underdog and the under in the Alamo Bowl. Louisiana Tech plus 14 against Army. Arizona State plus 13.5 against Texas in a playoff game. Miami, Florida minus 4.5 against Iowa State. Washington plus 2.5 against Louisville. And then one NFL play for Chuck Edel, that's Chargers minus 4.5 at the Patriots. And again, Chuck, 69, 40, and 3 against the spread, 75.5 points, 10, 5, and 1 on his best bets. Scott Pritchard, any common plays for you as you look at Chuck Edel's list of 7?
First of all, Chuck Edel, class act, 2 years ago, I know he did extremely well.
Second place in 2022, the first year of this contest.
Not bad, right? So Chuck is proven. I know he's a college guy. So I'm looking at, respectfully, I'm hoping, I mentioned to Kezirian, I said, dude, I know you were a game and a half away from catching me to make the Elite Eight, but that same game and a half catapults me to third place. So I think Chuck, you said setting the pace. The guy's a 5-star, rock star, superstar handicapper. If he goes 0-7 and I go 7-0, there's a chance. So I'm saying there's a chance.
You don't have any common plays with Chuck, I noticed.
I noticed that, yeah.
All right, let's get to it. Let's break down some of your games. And one in the NFL on Saturday, Scott, and I'm on this one too, so hopefully we both get a winner here. Bengals minus 3 against the Broncos. At most books, 3 minus 120. A few books have 3.5, but you got 3 flat here.
Yeah, I talking about the Cincinnati Bengals for quite some time. I'm not a big fan of their coach, overrated, overhyped. The Bengals might be, to me, they're the poor man's version of the San Francisco 49ers of the NFC. These two teams are two very good teams that are way better than their record. In fact, I think the Bengals should play the 49ers, just have another wild card game, because both of these teams are way too good not to make the postseason. Cincinnati, they're fighting for their lives. But the fact is, like San Francisco, they gave away too many games early, losing to New England, losing at home to Washington. All they had to do to beat the Chiefs was not give up a 4th and 16. They couldn't do it. They had the Ravens beat not once but twice, choked it away. They had the Chargers beat, went for 2 instead of going to OT. They lose by 1. This team way better than advertised. I respect the Broncos, but I don't respect a rookie quarterback, Nix, on the road. Must-win game for both teams, respectfully, but I like the home team, Bengals, minus the 3.
All right, Bo Nix thrown 5 picks in the last 3 games. I'm with you on the Bengals, -3, your first play there. Scott, also, let's stick with the NFL first of all here. Dolphins, Browns under the total of 39, and this number has moved down to 37.5. Was that part of your thinking in playing under 39 a good number?
Well, I always think that if I have an informational advantage with a competitive number, it warrants a play, it warrants a bet. What's great about this contest is you don't really have stale numbers because we get the lines at noon. We have to submit within 3 to 5 hours, and I have a fear of missing the deadline, so I tend to do it a little bit. I do it late, but early late, like 4:30, 4:45. But in this case, the Browns, they have a very good defense. They are at home. We know the Dolphins in the history of the world forever, they've never traveled well late December, early January. So I think you've got some injury concerns for the Miami Dolphins as well. So the fact that the Browns have a good defense, you're talking about windy conditions, adverse weather, which you and I both know, Matt, neutralizes talent. I think under is the play here. Under 39.5, under 39, you said now the number is what, 37.5?
Or 37, yeah.
I'll take it. Well, 37 is a key number because there are 10 ways to get to 37, but I'll take my chances under the 39.5.
All right, and the play does make sense aside from the number moving. Dolphins, Browns, under 39. You've got another under, and this is your best bet. Falcons, Commanders, under 47.5.
2 rookie quarterbacks. You're talking about, this goes back to Kezirian. I was on the Falcons as my best bet under last week, and that got there. The Falcons, as inconsistent, as erratic as they have been, they have a pretty decent shot for the division title because they've swept the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. People forget that Atlanta, they have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 all-pros defensively. Penix, going to be a very good quarterback, but this is only his second game. You're talking about a rookie. You're talking about another rookie. So I look for a knockdown, drag-out affair. I think 47.5 points is way too happy. I feel confident with my best bet.
All right, that is your best bet. Falcons, Commanders under 47.5. Let's get to some college games. And amazingly, you and Chuck Edel overlap on nothing here. You're playing, looks like 3 totals and 1 side. Let's get to the side. You're playing Missouri -2.5 against Iowa.
Well, I like this game because Iowa, coming off a win against Nebraska, 13-10, it was a knockdown, drag-out, ugly affair. Iowa, 0 for 10 on third downs. They had a total of 164 yards, and they won. Are you kidding me? Iowa now, they have one of the best running backs in football, Caleb Johnson, but the fact is he's out. So I think Missouri, a cheap number, I think this line's going to go to 3, maybe even 3 and a hook. I see some value with the short number here with Missouri. I expect Missouri to win the game.
Yeah, it's Monday, December 30th. That's the only bowl game that day. And don't want to go up against Monday Night Football, but it's an early game, in Nashville. Missouri -2.5. I like your side in that one. Scott, how about Iowa State, Miami? You're going to go over 57.
I think this game flies over Miami of Florida. I respect the team offensively. They're known for many things, Matt, but defense is not one of them. Iowa State, the Cyclones, I'm telling you, they have not 1 but 2 stud wideouts, both of which have over 1,000 yards receiving for the season. So if you're trying to play defense, which you're not known for, Miami of Florida, who are you going to key on? You can't key on the top guy and take him out because the other guy is going to hurt you and burn you and score. So I think this game is going to go over. I played it over early, and now it's continuing to fly. The big move on this game up to 57 I'm not crazy about, but I still think it's cheap.
That is the Pop-Tarts Bowl. And Scott Pritchard playing Iowa State, Miami over 57. Scott, you're a healthy eater. Do you ever start your day with Pop-Tarts?
I try not to.
I love them.
I love them. I love Pop-Tarts. But, these goofy names with these bowls, I was talking to Sean Higgs on the Jim Feist show this week, and he was talking about how much he enjoys the Pop-Tarts Bowl. And to me, Jimmy Crack Corn, I don't care. Couldn't care less. Just pit 2 teams, give me a number, let me bet it. Pop-Tart Bowl. It's right up there with the toilet bowl.
Oh, you're dropping big names there. Sean Higgs, Jim Feist. All right.
Matt Humans.
Hanging out with some stars. Okay, Rose Bowl is not a corny bowl, and it's a great matchup. Ohio State and Oregon. You're going to play it over 55.
These two teams played earlier in the year. Oregon, Ohio State, 63 points scored in that contest. Oregon has been very, very consistent offensively, Matt. They can run, they can pass, they score a lot of points. The problem is defensively, they've had some issues. They've had some holes. And I know Ohio State, the Buckeyes are going to be prepared. They're well coached. They have talent. This game is going to fly over the posted total. I feel good about 55, knowing that they played to 63 points earlier this season.
Scott Pritchard, Las Vegas Pro Bettor, and you're in second and third. You have two entries near the top of the Golden Nugget Ultimate Football Challenge, right?
Yeah, I've actually have three entries, $1,000 each. First place is $60,000 to make it holla. Second place is $30,000. They give cash back to the top 20. Last year I took sixth and ninth. This year I'm in second place by myself. Third place tied with three others and tied for 18th. So I'd like to leapfrog the top place guy, but I'm also looking over my shoulder. I'm concerned about someone leapfrogging me.
All right, well, best of luck in that contest and this one, wrapping it up. And I should mention your last play, the seventh of your seven, Baylor LSU, under 59.5 in the Texas Bowl.
These two teams trending in opposite directions. The fact that Baylor, they've lost 4 of their last 6 games after they really started out like a house on fire. And then LSU, conversely, they've actually won 6 of their last 7 games. I just think 59.5 points is a bit too many. I do like the under.
Scott Pritchard was a third-place finisher in this contest a year ago. He's tied for 6th heading into the final 2 weeks. Follow him at Pritchard Wins. Also follow him on IG and TikTok, right?
TikTok it is.